Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about some of the myths that are out there and some of the basic questions that I get from students all the time. And I'm sure you have the same questions because you're either new to Forex or you've been trading Forex unsuccessfully for a while and you just have some new questions that maybe I could answer for you. The number one question I always get from students is, how much money can I make in Forex? Well, and I always give the same answer. Well, the truth is, I really don't know how much money you can make in the foreign exchange market. But what I do tell you, and what I tell my other students is, if you're willing to pay the price, if you're willing to follow the system and the strategies that we teach over here in NewayFX, the sky's the limit. There are individuals out there in the hedge fund market right now in New York City who make $800 million a year. You know, they make George Clooney just look ridiculous. They make so much money. I was telling a friend the other day that there are people who make actually $50,000 per minute. And this is something that can be verified. This is something that, you know, that's online if you Google and if you go to YouTube sites and so on and so forth. But this is stuff that they see every day. So, how much money can you make? Well, it depends. It depends, one, how much time can you put in this? How quickly can you learn our strategies, and how quickly can you overcome your fears when it comes to trading? Because there's one thing for me to sit there and teach you how to trade, as you'll see in my videos, but it's another thing where you're actually trading live by yourself. And again, we always tell our students that before you actually put a dime of your hard-earned money into the market, you need to demo trade first. You need to watch our videos, you need to watch all our videos, and then you need to demo trade for at least 2 to 3 weeks, or at least a month, so you can get pretty familiar with, you know, with the speed of the market, the different currency pairs, and so on and so forth. But as far as how much money can you make, I know you're probably looking for numbers, so let's put it this way. If you invest $10,000 into the foreign exchange market to begin with, there is no reason why you shouldn't be making at least $100 per day. And when I say $100 a day, I need to clarify that. When I say $100 a day, I don't mean you're going to be making $100 every day. What I mean by that is you're going to be making the least amount of money you're going to make on a $10,000 account is $100. Because another thing that we teach over here at NewayFX is compound interest. So if, say, you're making, and you have a goal of making 1% a day, which you can't find anywhere, you can't find it in a bank, you can't find it in the stock market, you can't find anywhere, but over here at NewayFX, we teach you that. We teach you how to make 1% every day. So when you compound it over a whole year, that $10,000 could be, you do the math, it could go well into $400,000 to $500,000. Yes, it's been done. It's something that we teach. I'm not speaking out of my mouth. I'm not blowing hot air. This is something that because all we do is we teach you how to make 10 to 20 pips every day. That's all we do. And then you just do that every day. And the numbers, if you do that consistently following our strategies, you should be fine and you should meet your goals. So how much money can you make? Well, it depends on a lot of factors. But the best way for me to answer that is, we want you to approach trading as a career. We want you to give us a year, you know, not thinking that you're just going to trade today and then you're going to make all that money in the next month or so. No, we're not promising you that at all. We're promising you that this is a lifelong lesson. This is a lifelong technique that you can use and you can parlay to other businesses. You can teach to your family, you can teach to your friends, you can teach to whoever you want to, but you can teach this for yourself. So instead of you taking your money to a bank, instead of you putting your money in the stock market and so on and so forth, you can trade yourself. So you can be as successful as you want to be. If you want to make $300 a day, that's fine. If you want to make $5,000 a day, that's fine. If you want to make $100,000 in 2 minutes, which I've seen it done, it's possible. That's all I'm saying. So anything is possible in this market. Another myth that I want to dispel is the fact that a lot of students come to me and they think that the foreign exchange market is easy. No. The foreign exchange market is not easy. I am not in any way promising you that the foreign exchange market is easy. Because if you're brand new to the market, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You think you know what you're doing, but you don't. It's very, initially, it's very complicated, it's very fast. The nuances are very tricky. There's so many things that you need to learn. You need to learn the head and shoulders. You need to learn about divergence. You need to learn all your indicators. You need to know exactly what currency pairs reflect each other, and you need to learn exactly what currency pairs are inverse of each other. For instance, the euro dollar and the dollar Swiss. These two currency pairs are inverse of each other. You need to learn these things. You need to learn what the MACD does. You need to learn what the moving average does. You need to learn what are some of the special moving averages. You need to learn like how to exactly trail your stops. So these are all the little things that you need to learn at first. So when you first get into the market, all these things you're not going to be able to grasp immediately. There's no holy grail out there that's just going to teach you, okay, green light, red light, all that's just nonsense. I've been to all those seminars and they tell you, okay, green light, red light, when it's green, you buy, when it's red, that's just garbage. Don't even waste your money, because I've wasted my money. And I'm here to tell you that those things don't work. These guys are sales artists. All they do is they sell you products. They make their money and they're done. These guys are not traders. They have never traded a day in their life, but we trade on a daily basis, and we know enough to know that these things don't work. So, foreign exchange market is not easy initially, but what I will say is this. Once you get a hang of it, once you know exactly what you're doing, once you know exactly what you're looking for, once you know exactly how to get in, once you know exactly how to get out, once you know exactly how much money you're going to risk, once you know exactly all these things, foreign exchange is easy. It's like taking money from a baby. It's like taking candy from a baby. Some days, every trade you put on, you're making money instantly, making money. Another thing that we teach is don't expect every trade to go the right way. No, that's part of trading. There can be some days where you need to take 5 to 6 trades for you to make money. It's just the way it is. That's trading. That's trading 101. But there's just some days where everything that you do is just boom, boom. You're making money left and right. Boom, boom. You're trading 2 hours and then you're done. There could be some days where you're trading 3-4 hours and then you're done. So every day is exciting, every day is new, every day is different. But one thing about foreign exchange that I love is you can be as successful as you want to be. And if you know the strategies and if you know exactly what you're looking for, it makes your life so much easier. Because, as a brand new trader, what you tend to do is you tend to put like 5 or 6 different indicators on there. You put your RSI on there, and then you put your stochastics on there. And then on the actual chart, you got the parabolic SAR. Then you have your moving averages. And then you have your trailing stop. Well, are you looking at price? You're not even looking at price anymore. Your computer screen looks like something from the Stone Ages. And you don't want to trade that way. You basically just want to follow price. That's what I want. That's very important. That's key. And that's one of the major points that we stress in NewayFX in our strategies. So, foreign exchange market is not easy, but once you get to know it, once you know exactly, again, notice I'm stressing exactly. With trading, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. Can't be no guessing. It can't be anything about I'm not sure. No, you need to know exactly what you're looking for. When this happens, boom, this is what I do. When this happens, boom, this is what I do. When I lose money like this, boom, this is what I do. When do I close? Boom, I close this. Where do I put my trailing stop? Boom, this is what I do it. Where do I put my hard stop? Boom, this is where I do it. Everything needs to be, you need to become a robot. See, the more robotic you become while you're trading, the less fear you have, the less anxiety you have. And that's another thing that a lot of new traders have. They have a lot of fear. Why? Because they don't know exactly what they're doing. So that's another myth that I just wanted to dispel. And this is a big one that I get a lot. Oh, I don't need a mentor. No, you need a mentor. I can guarantee you that you need a mentor. You name me a successful trader, and I'll name you somebody who had mentors. Me growing up in the market, I had at least 2 mentors, and they taught me everything they knew. But what happened is they taught me to a certain point, but then I had to fly myself. You know, these were guys that made, you know, these are millionaires. I mean, you know, my number one mentor, his name is Court. He's a millionaire many times over, and I just call it grace. He just found me out of nowhere, you know, in one of the chart rooms, and he just liked my name, and then we went to his room, and then he just started teaching me about trading. And then I stuck with him for about a year and a half after I'd just been making all kinds of mistakes. And lucky enough, never lost too much money in trading, so I was kind of lucky at that point. I've known people who've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because they didn't know what they were doing. But anyway, he taught me everything that he knew. And then after that, what I basically did was I took his techniques and just kind of molded his techniques into my technique and just kind of simplified it a little bit. But you need a mentor. You cannot not have a mentor. There's so many things you need to learn that you need your experience to go a lot smoother. So you need a mentor. Bottom line, you need a mentor. There's just no getting around that. You need a mentor that's going to guide you, show you how to set up your charts, show you, okay, are you doing long range or short range? Okay. If you're doing short range, okay. What pairs are best on the short range? Okay. If you're doing long range, okay, then exactly how you're going to do that. So you need a mentor to teach you all that stuff. So another thing that, this is a big one that a lot of people say when they come to me. Well, I can't trade the foreign exchange market because it's too risky and it's too complicated. Let's talk about the risky part. I think it's very important for me to stress to you that yes, there is some risk in the foreign exchange market. Yes, you can lose money in the foreign exchange market. There are some days where I go out in the foreign exchange market and I don't make any money. There's just some business. Well, that's rare though. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen often. But there's some days where you just won't make money, and it could just be things that are out of your control. Like for instance, if you're trading during the holiday season, well, like if it's like New Year's Eve or like the market is pretty much dead. If you're trading from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the market is pretty much dead. So it's not really going to move. You know what I mean? So there's some times during the day where you don't want to be trading, but there's some times during the day where you do want to be trading. For instance, you want to be trading the Asian market. You want to be trading the London market. So my times that I trade from 7 p.m. all the way to 7 a.m. So I trade 12 hours a day. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that this is what you have to do, but this is just what I do. You know what I mean? So there is some risk in the foreign exchange market, but the foreign exchange market is no riskier than anything in life. Nothing in this life is actually guaranteed. But the thing is, you have to have the skills to eliminate those risks. You need to have the skills to curtail those risks. And this is what we teach on NewayFX. Like the risk, if you don't know what you're doing, the risk is it's exponential. It's a very risky market. As a matter of fact, if you've never traded before, I do not recommend you trading the foreign exchange market. You can probably do options as some other garbage, but the foreign exchange market is something that once learned becomes a lot less risky. So am I telling you that if you've never traded before, you go get your mother's IRA, your father's IRA, your life savings and start trading? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's risky. But if you have your strategies and you're ready to stick by them and you know exactly what you're doing, then of course it's not risky. I wouldn't say it's risky at all because you know exactly what's going to happen. When this happens, boom, this is what I'm going to do. When that happens, boom, this is what I'm going to do. You already have your hard stop set, you have a take profit set, you have a trailing stop set if you use one. So all these things, like if it crosses this line, you know exactly what you're going to do. So in that sense, it's not, it almost becomes predictable. You know what I mean? Like the risk becomes more predictable. So just want to tell you about that. And then the last one is, this is the last one. You need some kind of special program or special software from some provider, to predict, to help you predict what the market is going to do. Call it the Holy Grail. Guys, there is no Holy Grail. There is no Holy Grail in trading. You need to just get that out of your head. If you're thinking that we're gonna by you coming to NewayFX, we're gonna show you the Holy Grail. No, we're not gonna show you the Holy Grail. When you trade, you are on your own. You just like I am on my own. As a matter of fact, when I'm trading, I do not want any kind of distractions. What does that tell you? That basically tells you that you need to concentrate on what you're doing because the market moves quickly. And you need to be very flexible. You need to be fast and you need to be able to adjust quickly. You know what I mean? So it's just really important that you stay focused while you're doing it. You don't need a special program. You don't need some kind of special software. That's just for people who are trying to sell you products and try to sell you programs. You know what I mean? Like, they make it seem as though like if you buy this, you're automatically going to make 1,000% a day. No, that's just unrealistic. That's totally unrealistic. Now, now, if you're going to purchase a program, if you're going to purchase a software, if you go to one of these seminars, one thing you'll notice is you just purchase it and then boom, like you go home, then 2 weeks later you figure out, oh, it doesn't work. Whoever you're going to purchase this thing from, they need to know exactly what they're talking about. They have to be proven. Like you have to actually watch them trade and see that, okay, whatever this guy is selling, it actually works. You know what I mean? It actually works, and it has to work for a sustained amount of time. Now, there's no way you can actually go back and backtrack a whole year, but you need to see at least a month. Okay, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So you just need to understand that there is no Holy Grail software out there that's going to teach you, that's going to give you everything that you need. Where all you need to do is just press a button, walk away from your computer, and then boom, ching ching, like. In 15 minutes you've made $5,000, and then boom, you do it again the next day, and then you make another $5,000. No, that's not what the foreign exchange market is all about. This is a job. This is a career. I mean, people make millions of dollars doing this, and people lose millions of dollars doing this. So there is an element of risk, but there's an expertise that comes with it. Is basically what I'm getting at. There's an expertise that comes in it. So at NewayFX, we teach you all these things. Once you go into our daily post, if you decide to become a member, we'll show you all the different trades that we've taken over the different days, over the past months, and so on and so forth. And then this will help you get more familiar with our strategies and more of our techniques. So when it gets time for you to actually trade live, you can actually do this yourself. So the next video we'll be talking about is some of the I don't even know what the next video is going to be, but we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.